The Tim and Jenn Show.
Hi, my name is Tim Ryan. Welcome to another episode of the Tim and Jenn Show. I am here with my amazing co-host, better half, business partner, best friend, and wife.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Ryan, and thanks so much for that introduction.
You look beautiful, as usual.
It's funny. Thank you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
very much. I feel a deeper love for you right now.
Say more. Talk to me.
Just had our first weekend away from each other in a long time. I mean, you've done like a couple trips here and there, but I decided to stay with my mom, and Tim went to go and spend time with his parents and pick up his daughter. But it was more about him spending time with his parents and me spending time with my mom, and the appreciation I had for my mom, and the appreciation that I had and I have for your mom and dad. Like your mom and dad, I'm so like, this isn't normal, you guys. And I'm not trying to be like, oh, we float on water, above water, but I absolutely love my in-laws. I love your mom and dad. And that's like so refreshing to say.
They are, my parents are very unique people. You know, I talk to my mom every day, call her and check in, but no, I mean, they're getting up there too. My dad's 81, mom's 79.
Yeah, but I don't think you heard what I said. I absolutely love your parents, and I appreciate that, because normally you don't, like in relationships that I've been in, you like one parent or not, or and like the fact that I love your mom and dad, and I know you love my mom, is like
absolutely, your mom is
like, it's such a blessing.
It's a breath of fresh air, because when you're in a relationship with someone and married to someone, if they got shit in-laws, and I've had that, unfortunately, because I've been divorced before, it just makes everything miserable. And my mom and your mom are the same. When are you coming to see me? When are you coming to see me? You know, they miss us when we're not there. They miss us when we're gone.
I know. And I don't know. It was great to be able to spend those moments with my mom alone. But it was also great to realize like how much I missed you.
So I had some reflections. My parents have been married. What have they been married? Like 58 years. Mm-hmm. And my dad actually, when he left E.F. Hutton after 26 years and went to another job, they had him traveling, and he didn't like being away from my mom. So he retired early at 51. And my parents are best friends. They've probably been to 40, 50 different countries. They're always together, but their life is them. And I was sitting out on the pier, just kind of reflecting. And on one side, I closed, because I always had this, well, maybe we could come back to the Midwest. And I realized I don't want to come back. I'll come back to visit my parents, the kids, whatever, but that's it. I don't want to live there. I don't like being there long.
That's a kind of a major like breakthrough, though, when you realize, we create these fantasies in our head about certain things, right? Like,
it'll be like, better here. I'd be happier if I had this. And what I realized is, no, I'm happy at home with you. I'm happy wherever you are. Yeah. And I missed you a lot. And I don't want to sound like a fucking sassier, but it also made me realize that I want to spend as much time with you as possible while we're on this journey called life together, because it could end in 2 minutes. It could end in 30, 40, 50 years, and let's enjoy ourselves. And I think that was another closing door, but it's like, when we first got together, you said, I want the second half of my life to be happy. And we truly are happy 98% of the time. But if you don't argue and disagree, you have issues. But I told you an hour ago, I was sitting on the sofa and I said, I'm really at peace. Yeah, I'm at peace. And then I was able to bring Mackenzie back, and she just lights you up and lights the room up, and she follows you around like a puppy dog.
It's been fun.
Jen was getting ready for the show here and does her hair and makeup. And of course, Mackenzie's right there wanting to do exactly what you are. And I thank you for showing this kid so much love. She loves you. More than me, I'll tell you that.
She's, first of all, a delight. Like, and it's just so beautiful to see an innocent child, and just only celebrate them.
Yep.
I love her creativity and the way I allow her to do own makeup. Like whatever she wants to wear.
Jennifer, her hair is 5 different colors right now. Thank you very much.
It's wash off, you guys, with take a bath in the shower.
Mackenzie did a bath last night, and I just kind of towel dry her hair, and she's like, no, Dad, we need to blow dry my hair so I can put more colors in it. I said, no, you can wait for it to dry and do it in the morning. First thing this morning, she was coloring her hair.
Yeah. She's obsessed with that I mean, with the colors right now, but you know what? She's really like so creative. And I think like, I just wish that we were able to, my parents did that more, you know, but I'm glad that we could do that with her.
Absolutely.
So lately, you guys, it's been interesting because there's so many battles, like, you know, this whole, I'll speak on, like, for example, the recovery world. There's this whole, like, you know, go to my treatment center, and then, you know, no, my treatment center is better. And then it became like people are getting massages, and I didn't have any of that stuff. So I've been hearing all this stuff, you know, and then they get this or that. And then people, you know, were like, you can use, you know, a safe injection, you know, the injection and harm reduction and this and MAT. And people are like, you know, there's no only one way of doing treatment. That's not true. And all this stuff, right? Jibber jabber. And then all of a sudden people are like, you can't, you know, you can only do it one way, treatment or getting help or getting sober or getting clean or overcoming, you know, traumas. And then all of a sudden, I kid you not, you guys, for the last 3 months, I'm completely baffled by people are like, I would prefer to live, you know, on the streets, you know, running, doing my thing, selling my body, putting myself in a bad situation than getting sober. And I'm like, holy fuck. Like, and I know that was me in some ways, but not really. You know what I mean? Like there was a time where, I mean, I knew that I needed to get better, but people argue with us that, you know, your philosophy of treatment being forced treatment.
Well, a lot of people say you can't force treatment upon someone. And I actually, we had this discussion after a father I had been referred to calls me from, I talked to the family, their family's from Ohio, and their 19-year-old daughter was sent to San Diego, California to do treatment. And she did 90 days of treatment and was in sober living, and 2 or 3 months into sober living, relapsed and is out running the streets. So the father flew to San Diego and has been trying to chase his daughter down and finding her. She's got rid of her cell phone and sold everything for drugs. So I said, well, what do you want to do? And he's like, well, I want to try to get her into a different treatment program. So we were able to get a few different programs set up. And he said, well, then maybe I'll just get my daughter and take her back to Ohio if she's willing to go. And I said, well, what are you going to do if she goes back to Ohio? Where's she going to live? Well, she's going to go to treatment. I said, what if she doesn't go to treatment? Can she live with you? Well, she's going to have to. I said, so what's going to change? Mm-hmm. Your daughter's coming back home to the scene of the crime. And he said, well, I can't force her into treatment. So anyhow, he met with her, and the next day he called me and was with her. And he's like, well, she doesn't want any help. And he's out buying her hundreds of dollars worth of clothes and tents. And he said he had done this 3 weeks ago and all the belongings are gone. And I said, if your daughter doesn't want help, it's a tough situation, but you could hire an interventionist to come in. And well, how's that going to work? And I said, well, it's like me hiring an accountant or me hiring a business lawyer or a patent attorney. They're subject matter experts in what they do. This is what we do, or I have numerous people that can do it. And he just kept saying, well, I can't force my daughter into treatment. I can't force my daughter into treatment. I said, so if she doesn't want to do anything, what are you going to do? He said, well, I'm just going to leave her and wish her the best of luck. And ultimately, that's what ended up happening.
But in the steps of what you're saying, what took place, you know, hearing you sound so crushed, having these conversations, like this poor father is on a flight out to, you know, searching the streets,
literally walking alleys, homeless camps, and trying to find. He rented a scooter so he
like buying her things because he's so devastated. Like the power. I mean, kind of let that sink in. Like a parent's love for their child, and yet they are so powerless. We are so powerless.
So let's take this a step further, because ultimately chances are the girl's going to die on the streets of San Diego, because she's not just drinking beers and stuff. I mean, she's doing heroin, she's doing meth. If she's lucky, she'll get arrested. So if this happened in Florida, if this same scenario happened in Florida. The girl was in treatment in Florida in sober living, relapse. Dad flew to Orlando, Florida, and he finds his daughter. See, the difference is in Florida, he could call the police and have his daughter Baker acted right away and say she's a harm and danger to herself due to her substance abuse and mental health issues. They'll put her on a psychiatric hold. In the interim, the father can go in front of a judge and say, you know, my daughter was in treatment. She relapsed in sober living. She's back, you know, smoking meth, shooting heroin, and they would charge her under the Marchman Act. And then they would basically approach her and say, you've been charged under the Marchman Act. You have two choices. You can go to jail for up to 6 months, the county jail, or you can go to treatment for 4 months. What do you want to do? Most people want to go to treatment. I've used the Marchman Act on probably 30 clients. I'd say 28 are still sober. It does work, but nobody wants to go to treatment. But when you're taking a 19, 20, whatever variable the age is, and the person is under the influence of alcohol and or drugs, they're not thinking rationally.
Yeah, I know. And you're right on
Would
that.
An intervention have worked with you, Jennifer? A true intervention. I mean, do you really think if, you know, Bob Marrier, I don't know.
Time? I mean, like if you're talking about, the last time I wanted to go in, it was the first time I actually wanted to.
No, before that. What you know now, if someone like Bob Marrier, who we've had on the show, came in and
no, and I wouldn't. And I'll tell you why.
What about if someone like Teresa Fair, your friend?
Yeah. So like my sponsor, I mean, it's very open. I'm open about this, you guys, and she allows me to say her name. I you know, there's a soulfulness to the people that I was, you know, like the Teresas of the world. There was something, you know, obviously, like I'm spiritual now. I'm very like in tune now. At the bottom of the barrel of my darkest days, I may have respected Teresa more than I would have a Bob Marrier. Right. I probably would have eaten a Bob Marrier up, or at least tried to. But ultimately,
it probably would have helped you, or
really would have rattled your cage. Like whoever around me.
So I don't want to get derailed here, because the point is, in Florida, they have laws. Call it forced treatment, call it not. They're there to help people that are struggling with substance abuse disorder, mental health issues, and getting people the opportunity to get this gift called recovery and have a life. But California doesn't have that. It's very difficult to put someone on a 5150, a psych hold here. Yeah. You've experienced it, Jennifer, a few times, but you were an ace in your trade, from supermodel to actress, movies like Glow and Vanilla Sky and all this shit, to 5150.
Yeah,
but
I did get that taken off.
The point is, though, the grand scheme of things, the amount of phone calls we receive for families that are in this exact situation, even adolescents today, 15, 16 years old, you need their permission to get them in treatment. They can walk out. There's nothing you can do. Our system is broken. And I think we really need to start shifting the thinking on what's working. And you say a lot of people don't need treatment, some do, but people need purpose, connection. They need structure. They need people that will motivate them, support them, build them up. There's so much tearing down. And
okay, in order to get to that building people up and doing all that stuff, first, I think you just need to learn to breathe. And learning to breathe would be requiring like some kind of anonymous program, therapy, something, you know. And listen, at the end of the day, I go back to this. It worked almost like 80, 90 years ago when they started the 12-step programs, right? It worked for a few people. They were in psych wards. They were like drug addicts. They were not just alcohol. They were doing it. And like, they did the work, they did the steps, they did the work, they kept cleaning house, doing inventory, doing this stuff. And they kept reaching for a power greater than them that they didn't even understand they had. So therefore it falls off onto us. Yep. And in order to have that, I need some clarity in my life.
A lot of clarity.
I need to learn to go, because we hold our breath for so many things in our lives instead of being centered and in this moment, right? And I think that, you know, detox, a lot of us, I needed it. I needed a medical detox, but you detoxed, medical detox, you know what I mean?
Boy, would I love the medical
But then there's these places that you go, and some, not you, but one person might go, a treatment center, whatever. It takes what it takes, and some don't need a detox. But the trauma, I was listening to every word you were saying, and what keeps coming out right now for me is, are we babying the addict more and more today? Or
absolutely, I think so.
Are we babying them and helping them and bury them? Or are we being as matter of fact as they were with me 15 and a half years ago, or with you almost 9 years ago?
They are.
So
I was in a therapeutic community in prison. I mean, it was in your face. I mean, but I needed that. No, I think people are afraid today, from therapists, from clinicians, from whatever. People are afraid to be getting sued. Oh, there's so much cancel culture, all that. I can't keep track of all this shit. Everybody's sue happy.
But like that's and then there's the politics behind the industries, and it's not just the recovery industry. We were talking to my oncologist, and he was talking about the doctor circle.
So this was fascinating, because we were talking about the doctor had to have a procedure, and he went to all the places here: Cedars-Sinai, UCLA. What's the other big one?
UCLA, USC.
USC. And he ended up going to a place in Tampa, Florida, and he ended up having to re-diagnose himself because the other doctor said this. But he said, we're comparing our treatment industry to the medical community. He said, well, take somewhere like Cedars. A lot of people rent space here, but if you go there to see a doctor, they expect you to have any services done on a Cedar premises, so they keep the money in house.
Yeah, so it's like, and
it's a big machine.
College with someone, or med school.
And how do you get referrals? And exactly who I went to college with, who I went to med school, who's a member of the country club. It's all like it, but it's not just the medical industry or the recovery. It's every industry in certain ways, and
it's like I think about all this, and then I think about like the addicts and running around, and like how that sounds like a logical thing for someone in active addiction. Now, what sounded like a logical thing for me was I was out of my mind, but it wasn't like I should roam the streets.
But let's take the whole medical thing even a step further. When I was with my dad over the weekend, the guy's just fascinating, but we were talking about all the people, the families that are having to file bankruptcy due to medical bills, millions. And a lot of it could be from COVID and this, but they can't afford healthcare. They don't have it. So they're filing bankruptcy. He said, this doesn't go on in all of Western Europe and Australia and New Zealand. They have Canada. They have universal health care. And healthcare bankrupts more Americans than anything out there. I mean, our whole system's broken here. Whatever idiots put the DSM-5 together and said, okay, this certifies, so you're a 25-year alcoholic and heroin and benzodiazepine addict. Yeah, you're going to certify for 21 days of treatment, and that's it.
Yeah.
What? Well, I mean, everybody wants to blame treatment, blame the whole damn system.
Yeah.
But I got sober in a prison cell. You got sober in a psych ward. Originally.
Well, I mean, for the few weeks I was there, and then I was at the rehab.
Can we tell that story? Because I don't know. Yeah, we might have some.
Tell it on another time.
I want to tell it now.
I don't want to tell it right now. But I mean, everyone knows about it. You can easily Google it. But I'll tell it. I feel like we should have started on another note, because again,
another note.
I mean, I'll do it on another time, because I feel it's important right now, because when I hear you, as I said earlier, I hear you talking about all this, and what's reason, this forcing treatment, I'm totally behind. I support it. I support many ways of recovery. I do at this point, because so many people are dying, and I have to change my outlook on these things. And I think we all do, because we're failing these people.
Well,
you know what I mean?
So you just talking about this, I'm sitting here thinking about me. I love my parents more than anything in the world. Why didn't they get an interventionist or something? Why didn't they confront me?
Okay. Yeah.
I put all this, everyone knew I don't know.
I know, but that's the thing. It's okay. I felt the same way. I remember when my girlfriend,
I'm not saying I'm not mad at them for not doing it, but If somebody would have intervened with me, I would have went and I would have been mad, but I wouldn't, but that might've been what I needed.
Well, see,
I don't
that's
know.
the thing. It's like when when my best friend Cameron Diaz told my mom that I was an active drug addict, and it's the greatest thing she ever did. I love her so much for doing that because she loved me so much. And it was kind of like, okay, monkey's off my back. Like I'm ready to go. And I went to town, and took me a lot, like another decade to finally get it, or 8 years to finally get it and be here right now with 15 and a half years of recovery. But I'll tell you, from that point, my family knew. We didn't know about treatment back then. No one knew about, like, and I'm talking now 20 years ago, right? Like, and they didn't know where to put me or you know, what to do. But then when I got bad the last time, and then treatment became an option because my mom was told about treatment for me. And I'm like, kind of like, my mom loves me so much, and God bless her. But I know this about many moms and dads. My mom loved me so much, she almost loved me into a grave.
Oh, sure.
And because
she's going to put me in a grave feeding me. She's loving me to.
Why didn't they say, why can't lose everything, be on the streets if you need to.
I don't blame parents, and a father the other day is like, well, should I do? I said, look, I support you, whether you enable your kid or not. It's not for me to tell you what to do. Mario just called, the guy we met at in Illinois at Portillo's, about another family member. And he said, Tim, 2 minutes, put me on speakerphone. He said, 2 times in jail, both alcohol related. Should the family bail him out? I said, absolutely not. How the hell is he going to learn a lesson? I said, where is he? DuPage County. I said, they've got a great recovery pod there. All he's got to do is ask to go in there. You bail him out, he'll be drunk in 2 hours. Yeah. He said, that's all I needed. Click.
Yeah.
And sent me a text. He said, Tim, because his family doesn't know, they're enabling him by bailing him out.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to, like, listen, I'm not trying to bash one type of parent or another. All I'm saying, or a loved one or whatever, like, I don't know. God knows. God only knows. If my mom wouldn't have loved me so much to protect, somehow take care of me in some ways, if I had to lose everything, then maybe I wouldn't be here. So, I mean, I just don't know.
So I get it. One more. So I had a father text me over the weekend. Happened to be from Naperville. The gentleman happened to be of Indian descent. Left me a really long message, was referred to me. Long story short, his high school kid and his buddy in the car found a pill bottle, was freaking out. Here's everything going on. Had saw one of my presentations a few years prior. So I sent him a text message. I said, take it to the police station, have them check it out. I'll call you tomorrow. And it happened to be chalk powder for working out. But I told the father, I said, thank you for taking the time to reach out and ask a question before you scolded your kids or whatever. And I told him, now I want you to go do something. Give them $100, send them to eat or do something, because you made an assumption and it was wrong, and you love them and support them for it. He's like, that's a great idea. But the point is, why is this father so on point to where Summer's just so clueless? Not my kid. This father, my kid, probably a affluent family, smart kid, but don't think just because of that, they can't get distracted. Mm-hmm. And it was making me think, I mean, we'll do events, Jen, speaking at high schools and stuff in the community forums at night. And sometimes we've had 1,000 parents. Sometimes we've had 30 parents. What is the difference that the big parents come out, and then you get 20 or 30 in a town of 100,000 people?
You know what I believe the difference is? And listen, it's coming out. I need to think about it, but I'll say what's in my head right now about this is that society has taught them to be who they are, and they're running with the wolves. They're not the leader of the pack.
Go a little deeper.
And I mean this by, it's not happening in my house. Oh, they're in a moment. They're in college right now. Let them have a good time. Oh, they're not doing anything to harm anyone. They're just smoking a little pot and drinking. They're having a good time. Oh, they're really stressed out because they're doing good in school, and
here's your irrational. A high school friend of mine reached out about her son. He had got DUI, possession of a gun, and caught with an 8-ball of cocaine. And I told the kid, I would probably suggest going to treatment before the judge mandates you, because it's going to look better. And, I just binge drink and I just do a little. I said, look, you've got a weapons charge here. You were 5 grams, a half a gram short of distribution. And, unfortunately, the mom let the kid think about it. And he's like, well, I don't want to lose my security job at a sporting event place. But he's starting college. And now here's what this kid's going to start college and have to leave it because he's going to get mandated to treatment.
I said, give it a year, unfortunately.
But people call and ask for help, but then they don't know what to do. And even for the people that get help, continuing with a mentor, a life coach, a sober coach, someone to walk you through this. I mean, it's like business people. They have a seminar, they don't just have a mentor for 3 months or 2 years. Steve Malik, my realtor buddy, has had the same real estate coach for 22 years. And he pays him a monthly fee to coach him. And Steve does really well, but he doesn't not just quit. I mean, you need people to guide you, mentor you in all aspects. Yeah. And you've helped me bring me to that with, my therapist and the people. And man, I'm changing my circles, Jen, a lot, and a lot of, we are.
I mean, it's interesting though, too, on this note, I have noticed, I've always said, it was indented in my soul that to be open to be teachable. And I'm always open to be teachable. And then I think, I hit this peak of good things in life. And I'm like, I am all united with one, the universe. And then, 6 months later, I'm like, I don't know if I can live through this day. I'm going to die, and this whole thing. And it's so dramatic. And it just reminds me, even at 15 and a half years sober, I do not have all the answers. I don't know how to be sober on this day or on this date. However, yes, I have tools. I know how to ask, but I also know how to be open to be teachable and learn from the mistakes or the situations that are going on. I'll tell you what I'm trying to talk about is right now. I found myself having to get in this deeper, realm of finding a power greater than me, even bigger and deeper than ever before. And instead of going like God and on my knees praying, it's like I'm literally going in my soul, in connecting with my spirit to allow the universe and everything to talk to me very clearly so I could see the picture of what, God is trying to tell me, learning in this lesson. And it is, I say this to you and people are like, okay, whatever. I'm not kidding you. It's like the most passionate, gut-wrenching feeling I have right now. The fact that I have to seek, I can't rely on you or anyone else. I rely on you for many things and you do support me during this time, but I have to rely on God and just knowing and believing, then trusting my intuition because I've done the work. And back to what you asked me earlier in the show is I feel that many things need to happen. And at the end of the day, it worked back then. It still works now. And yes, there's more ancillary options of going and getting better, but we all can overcome our issues. And if you're sitting here listening to this and you don't think you have an issue, honey, we all do. We all do. And it's okay. And maybe you don't have one right now, but I know from the people I talk to that we're all going through things.
Everybody is, I'm going to bring my parents up again, but we're talking and all their damn friends are dying or they've got dementia or Parkinson's. And, their high class problem is their trip to Sweden going to be canceled? And it's not, I'm joking. It's great that they're still traveling and doing this, but it's tough when all the people you grew up with are all dying.
Yeah.
And then you look to just share it that, when I talked to Mom this morning, she said, hey, I just want to let you know when you guys come back, you can spend a day here and we can do it again. And she just wants to be with us, and it's not like we have to be busy. They watch a Cubs game. We started watching a series, but just talking and seeing my mom and dad on their cell phones playing on Facebook.
God, it's so cute.
It's my dad's like, okay, I don't get this. I said, Dad, that's my friend Baba. He sent you a friend request, but you keep hitting you got to go down and confirm it. Oh, that's what that is. But
I love him.
Yeah. It's and then coming back with Mackenzie, we ran into Scott White, a captain, a friend of mine for 40 years at the airport. And Mackenzie was so happy to see someone, but Scott took the time to hold her, to take just to love her and made her feel so special. And the picture we took, I mean, you look at the face, that's just what I want our life to be every day. Yeah. Smiles and pictures and make memories. And
it's so cute. Like, so this came up. You guys, I have kidney stones, and I passed a kidney stone a week ago. So my amazing fucking husband, this is like the kind of man, I mean, I'm just like, I think about like how grateful I am and laughing and smiling and stuff. I'm passing a kidney stone. We have just finished watching, what is it? The movie with Push, Handmaid's Tale. And okay, wait. So I'm passing a kidney stone, you guys, and it's painful, and I'm screaming in the pillow, and like all of a sudden, as I'm like cringing and crying and screaming, I hear push, and then breathe. And I'm in pain. And if you guys have seen Handmaid's Tale,
you know exactly what
birth,
I'm talking
and like
about.
all these women are like
chanting.
Chanting. So he's trying to help me by chanting the Handmaid's Tale.
That's what I do now.
Mantra. And I was in pain, but I couldn't stop. Like the crying turned to laughing, and like I just want to thank you so much for making me laugh every freaking day.
Well, you know, in situations like that, there's not a damn thing I can do, and trying to make you laugh, and you did. I know. And that's
now that's our thing.
Yeah, so that's my thing now with anything. Breathe, push.
So I guess like that's a perfect ending. Wait, hold on. That's the whole thing I wanted to say. Like, it was so great to start this show and talk about our parents who have helped us and loved us in life. And just to watch them, you know, even watch them breathe and like have, you know, just, it was beautiful. And everything we've talked about recovery or different aspects of different, like, you know, jobs and like how there's this little circle and community, like at the end of the day, we just got to take a breath.
Amen.
Just take a breath. All I've searched for my whole life was this.
Breathe.
And like, for me, I'm grateful that the 12-step rooms taught me how to do that. But we don't maybe you're not even suffering from anything, and you're just like really like all wound up, you know, and you got your panties in a bunch, as I like to say it. Maybe you just need to stop and breathe and give yourself a break. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. I
want to let people know, because people ask us a lot, you know, will you come speak here? Jennifer and I speak internationally. We'll come to your high school, your college, your community, your corporation. It's not just a recovery talk. It's business. It's life. It's, I got something popping up on my computer. It's different for different audiences, but I'll tell you, it's from dope to hope, baby. We're starting to get booked a lot now. Things are opening up. You can reach us at 844-611-HOPE. 844-611-4673 if you're interested in us coming out and speaking and presenting, or you need an intervention, or you need guidance trying to get someone in the treatment. We guide and direct people as well.
And we do got a bunch of great, awesome guests coming up. I just felt like it was important for us to do a little check-in on our own.
Yeah, who do we got coming up?
I don't want to say, David, no, because you never know if they're going to cancel last minute. Like, everyone, look, we're good.
We do have some really good guests coming up. I'm not even gonna, can I give a teaser?
Okay.
Point Break's 30th anniversary is today, from the movie Point Break. We'll leave it at that, so your mind can wander on who our upcoming guest will be.
They'll already see this.
Oh, yeah, but who cares? Check it out. And if you haven't went to Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, all the platforms, download our show, the Tim and Jenn Show, hit the subscribe button. We want to thank Lux Media.
Yes, thank you so much. And thank you, everyone, for listening to us.
Our sponsors.
Living with us in our weekly, you know, show, and like just getting a glimpse of how our lives are. It's like, thank you. We welcome you, and we honor you. And, you know, I just, again, like, just kind of want to spread some love. And may you just find some peace.
Find a little peace, even if it's 5 minutes sitting outside with the squirrels, whatever. take a little quiet time for you and turn off the negativity, the outside noises, and surround yourself with people like my wife that empower you and build you up instead of destroying you and tearing you down. If you have people like that in your life, get fucking rid of them. For the Tim and Jenn Show, I'm Tim Ryan, my amazing wife, Jennifer Jimenez. Until next week, see you later.
Peace.
We want to talk to you about Clean Cause, better caffeine. What's in the can? Our organic, sparkling Herba Mate is a premium pick-me-up that won't let you down. Every can of Clean Cause contains 160 milligrams of better caffeine, and each sip supports recovery from alcohol and drug addiction. 50% of the profits go to assist people into sober living. Check out cleancause.com.
Seaside Palm Beach is an executive luxury addiction treatment center located in Palm Beach, Florida. Our private clients come from all over the world, including business executives, professional athletes, celebrities, and more. Seaside Palm Beach offers first-class amenities and high-end accommodations, including a gourmet culinary experience, ocean views, pet-friendly facilities, and access to cell phones and laptops during your stay. If you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, please call us at 877-959-5053. Again, that number is 877-959-5053.
Now, glutathione is a big word, but it's the body's own master antioxidant. So it's a scavenger for free radicals, for bacteria, and what's relevant now, viruses. This is new to the marketplace. There's no other product on the market that has the ingredient NACET.
And basically NACET increases the production of that glutathione that is in our body already to strengthen and enhance our immune system and keep it strong. Elevated sense of well-being, supports muscle strength and endurance, cognitive function, powerful liver support, energy, helps blood sugar regulation, superior bioavailability of key ingredients.
One of your best defenses against COVID is a strong immune system. Taking GSH Plus as a daily supplement does all that. And now we have the product out on the marketplace.